Hello and welcome back to LifeGen. My name is Frosty, and before I pick up MoonClan, I just wanted to shout out this art because I think it's really cool. It looks like Wild Dragon did it, so kudos to them. But without any further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into MoonClan as per usual here. So it looks like we're going to be going into Moon 114, which again is kind of crazy because this means that Frost Whisper is almost an elder. And while this has been going on forever, it simultaneously does not feel like it should be that long already. But we do have quite a few exciting things going on. Some of Frost Whisper's kits are getting their names, and he has a new apprentice for the first time in basically forever. So now we get to just see how they all end up growing up, and hopefully we actually can redeem ourselves as a mentor and nothing terrible happens to Jumblepaw as a young cat like all of Frost Whisper's other apprentices. Once is a tragedy, twice is a coincidence, and three is a pattern, or something like that. So I think that's really it for updates or things that happened last time that's important. Some of the kits already did get their warrior names, and the others I think we can expect to get that today. So we're going to go ahead and dive on in with a time skip. Okay, so we're heading into leaf fall. It's a great day to lie down and soak up the sun's rays. We take advantage of it. Ravensong is going on and on and on about a really cool cloud. We're caught yawning at the tail, and Ravensong is cross for a few days. Oops. And the rest is some events we'll get into in a second. As the clan cheers for the new warrior, Echo Dapple, Frost Whisper purrs loudly. Their kit is finally a warrior. A new journey has begun for Echo Dapple, and we know that Echo Dapple's valiance, I almost said vigilance, will lead her through anything. That's a pretty strong ceremony, actually. I feel like most cats aren't recognized for valiance. But Yarosar rests their muzzle on Moral Swirl's head and declares her to be a full warrior of MoonClan, honoring her hard work. Moral Swirl is a mouthful, but it's kind of a cool name, I won't lie. We're gonna skip over relationships because that's still broken, at least for me. So going into health, MoonClan does not have enough healthy medicine cats. Cats will be sick or hurt for longer and have a higher chance of dying. So sadly, that is true. So last time Hill Petal actually became mates with Charred Rumble, which is a ship I didn't know I needed, but because he took a mate, he couldn't be a medicine cat anymore per the challenge rule set. So now he's just gonna be a warrior, and that means that with the clan expanding, we don't have enough paws on deck, so I'm really hoping that we don't get bitten for this, but just with our luck, I'm expecting some tragedy to happen before we can get a new medicine cat in. Sky Scratch has gotten White Cough. Pigeon Flick will always heal their grief, but time has softened it, at least a little bit. Yarosar picks himself up out of their nest and begins a day anew, a fresh conviction in their heart. Stormsky considers Needledew's leg. It might be possible to re-break it, but it will likely always heal twisted after this. Instead, they leave it as it's healing. Okay, so I guess Needledew will have a twisted leg from here on. Charred Rumble tells himself they can't let these feelings consume them, instead they have to learn to live with it. Hill Petal can't understand how an appendage that isn't there can possibly itch so badly, but it's driving them insane. Falling Whisker's heat exhaustion has abated. Spursely's small cut is no longer bothering them. Tiny Stripe is free of fleas. Echo Paw's heat exhaustion has abated. And Sagbellow has gotten White Cough, so it's already 2 cats at least with White Cough, presuming nobody else already had it. And that doesn't exactly bode well. going into leaf fall, like fresh leaf fall, with not enough medicine cats. The medicine cat apprentice from Goose Clan comes asking for herbs. They refuse to say why their clan needs them, and MoonClan decides not to share their precious few horsetail. So I think it was Goose Clan. Yeah, it was Goose Clan that we were beefing with, so yeah, they probably should have thought about, wanting our horsetail before they killed Burrowfoot for misunderstanding last time. Still mad about that. With the additional focus of the clan, 6 herbs were gathered. We were caught sharing prey with a rogue who was chased off by a patrol. We've encountered Twig Fawn. Ooh, that's not good. And then Goose Clan again. So, I think we've seen Twig Fawn before. That looks familiar, but what concerns me is I think we might have enough strikes to get in trouble. Okay. Both of our strikes were for disappearing for a few days around Moon 58 and Moon 64. We're now at Moon 114, so I don't think anybody is going to necessarily remember these, so I think we are good to refresh this, which is good, because otherwise we would be just out. Okay, so just as a note, strike 1, Moon 114 for eating with a rogue. We have 2 expired strikes, though. I won't lie, it does feel a little cheap expiring the strikes, but I don't really feel a need to go through every cat's profile either and just be like, oh, it's been, more than however many moons, so we'll expire this now. I kind of do treat it like how I treated Frost Whisper in the sense of, well, it doesn't really matter until they could be getting kicked out for it. And I guess 3 moons in a row is very different than one at 15 moons, one at 65 moons, and the other at 120 moons, just as an extreme example there. There's a lot more room for error in one of those than in the other. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to do the expiring strikes. I guess I just feel cheap doing it for our cat when that would save our cat. And that not everybody else got that chance, so that's just me being weird. I think we're fine. I do just want to check out here too how we're doing. So we have 408 pieces of prey. We only need 128, so we should be good there. We are currently focusing on herb gathering. And we are still allies with all of the other clans, even with all of the issues we had last time with Goose Clan. So things are relatively peaceful. We'll see how long it ends up lasting. I have a feeling we're gonna have some major issues with sickness before everything is said and done. Alright, but all of our kits are 12 moons old, so let's see what they look like all grown up. Up first here we have Burn Path, who saw a kitty pet with the fluffiest fur imaginable today. I was really thinking she was going to look like a Firestar clone, but she ended up getting some lightened bellies, which isn't something I personally envision for Firestar, and some pretty long fur, which again is not something I personally envisioned for Firestar. So at least she looks a little bit more different or unique there, I suppose. She is stoic and incredibly clever, which I think is about the same. Then we have Willowtail, who's wondering how Shaded Antler is doing. She grew to be gloomy, just like her dad, and is a great climber. Then we have Swanthroat, who's wondering how Moral Paw, now Moral Swirl, is doing. She's mellow and very clever, which I think is about the same too. And then we have Echo Dapple, who saw a Tule Kit playing with a kitty pet. She does have that little bit of a mustache that makes her look like a very old gentleman, but I think it's really cute still. She's bold, a great hunter, and she was mentored by Falling Whisker, who influenced her to be more likely to have strong inner morals and behave erratically. Falling Whisker helped her become better at hunting. When she graduated, she was honored for her valiance, graduating at 12 moons old. Then finally we have Moral Swirl, who's feeling gloomy. For lack of better terms, she's just kind of a plain brown tabby, but with long fur. She is bouncy with ghost sight, and she was mentored by Scorchrunner, who influenced her to be more likely to break away from the status quo, be cold towards others, adapt easily, and be slow to anger. When she graduated, she was honored for her hard work, graduating at 12 moons old. So that is all of our kits, now warriors, which is crazy. Makes me feel old in a way too. But I'm excited to see what stories unfold there. We are going to forego talking to them this go. I know it feels kind of bad. We'll talk to maybe Echo Dapple and Moral Swirl since they did get their names, but we're going to focus on some relationships with other cats today. But first here we have Yarostar, who's feeling silly today. Then we have Needledew, who's craving the taste of rabbit. Their leg is now twisted, and that is a permanent condition. So that could be something that impacts him as a deputy. But as we know from the original series, Deadfoot was a cat that was a deputy and did just fine. So I don't think that's necessarily going to hold him back at all. Blueshade is checking up on the warriors. We do have a fair few herbs stockpiled, but we can only care for up to 42 members, which, I mean, I think this is 30, 60, 5 plus 3, 8. So if that is, every page of cats is 30, then we are probably going to need more cats than not to become medicine cats just to maintain status quo at this point. Stormsky is also fittingly checking up on the warriors. Pigeonflick is feeling underappreciated. She is one of our clan's founding members, really, and she's almost an elder. We're gonna talk to her this moon. Sigh, oh hey, Frost Whisper. Man, parenthood isn't always easy, huh? Stormsky and I just got into a little argument. They say I'm too controlling, but I just want what's best for them. Truthfully, I just really worry, you know? Just want to make sure they turn out okay. Your son is a medicine cat and honestly holding his own, so I think he'll be fine. But I'm sure it never feels just fine to parents. We have the apprentices very engaged and a very, very tall tale. Ravensong is trying to set a good example for younger cats. Ever since Fawnshock died, Ravensong has been refusing to sleep in their den. Instead, whether in rain, snow, or storm, Ravensong faithfully curls up next to their grave each night without so much as a scrap of moss to warm them. We're one of the closest cats to Ravensong in the entire clan. It hurts for us to see them like this. What should we do? Oh... Okay, let's talk to him ourselves. As the sky darkens and the air cools, a peace and stillness settles over clan camp. We find Ravensong by the grave where they always are. They jump when they hear the rustling underbrush. Underbrush? But their eyes soften as soon as they land on our face. Figures you'd find me here. Guess it was only a matter of time. We sit beside them, tail curled over our paws as they stare bitterly at Fawnshock's grave marker. I can't go back to MoonClan, not without Fawnshock. If it means spending the rest of my life sitting by this grave, then so be it. I'll wait here 1,000 moons if it means I don't have to move on without them. Anything to avoid going back to that empty... Oh? We bare our face in Ravensong's chest fur. They tense at first and slowly relax into our touch. In the silent embrace, our truest sentiments seem to be communicated. Just because Ravensong wants to wait forever doesn't mean they need to wait alone. I'm gonna cry. And that's the end of that. Oh, that's so sweet. I mean, I just am still getting stuck on the irony of like Fawnshock could have literally killed us and we're here mourning them with Ravensong so Ravensong won't be alone. Oh, I don't even know how to process that. But while I'm thinking about it, somebody did think that Fawnshock was a killer. I think she just gave off those vibes. Yeah, I don't have anything in her notes. So I don't think she actually killed anybody. I think it just feels like she did. Which is a weird thing to say. But the fact that it wasn't just me that felt like she had done something bad reinforces that she just has those vibes, I guess. Which does sing for Ravensong in its own right there, too. Lyra's just staring off into space. We're not talking to her this go. Falcon Scratch is hoping Needledew won't assign them to the next patrol. Hey, Fleabrain, I've been eyeing this huge thrush on the fresh kill pile all day. Want to share it? What, the thrush is totally missing, but I was saving it for us. That's it, I will not rest until the cat who did this is hunted down and brought to justice. You and Falcon Scratch dissolve into a fit of giggles. Aww. At least we're getting some lighthearted moments, too, amidst all the gloom. Alright, let's talk to Echo Dapple. They're stretched out blissfully in a sunbeam, in the middle of the clearing, while the rest of the clan has to avoid tripping over her. Not the most considerate cat, is she? Then, talking to Moral Swirl. Hey, Frostwhisper, what was that one story you used to tell in the nursery? The one about the kit who went missing about not eating all of their fresh kill? We retell the details of the story to Moral Swirl. Ah yes, that's the one. StarClan is driving me crazy not remembering. Kind of a messed up story, no? You concede maybe. But hey, I guess I've always cleaned my bones since then. That's the real moral of the story, I think. Trimblepaw saw some wandering two legs today. He's kind of middle of the road for training, so he might get done early, but I think he's going to be on track just to graduate at 12 moons. The crisp air of this leaf fall is putting me in the mood for revolution. Shaded Antler and Twigpaw are smart. What do you think of convincing them to help us overthrow Yarostar? Ha, of course I'm kidding. Leaf fall is a season for relaxing. We save revolutions for Leaf Bear. That's kind of what they traditionally did, and then they'd starve everybody out. Good tactical mind, Jumblepie. I see we taught you well. Moonfern is wondering about the destinies that await kits outside the nursery. We'll talk to her. Someone keeps pelting me with acorns. Snilly says the squirrels must not like me, but the way they said that, I just know they're somehow responsible. Mark my words, I'm gonna catch them in the act. It seems like something Snowleaf would do, let's be honest. And Chardrumble is feeling the weight of responsibility in shaping young minds and spirits. Alright, let's do our LifeGen patrols, though. Another asks us to share a story of our most daring adventure. It's an opportunity to share our experience and inspire young cats. We attempt to recount a tale, but we struggle to remember key details. Everyone looks quite bored. Oops. Blueshay gathers Daisy. And Storm Sky is unsuccessful and distracted today. Look at all of these apprentices still. Ooh, this is interesting art. We wander past an old badger set in the roots of a hazelnut tree, only to freeze. There's a new scent here, acrid and sour. Calling the rest of the patrol over, such as Trimblepaw, we discuss our next move. If a badger is moved in, we need to confirm it, but how? We end up stuffing the bushes into the mouth of a set. The cats will be able to come back tomorrow to see if anything has shoved them out of the way. It's a good, relatively safe plan, and luckily Jumblepaw gets that experience without getting bitten in the process. The next training patrol thinks it could be a good chance to practice teamwork, especially with Saffron Paw available. But nobody sets up to teach. Okay, so no exaggeration, I've gotten this exact scenario for every single apprentice and mentor pairing I did not showcase. I don't know if we're just on a field trip to see the porcupine, or the porcupine just happens to be marching a path through all the mentor and apprentice training spots, but I kind of wish this one in particular wasn't as frequent as it was. The porcupine's cute. I just like to see, more interactions between apprentices and mentors and training activities, I guess, and less of the porcupine. Okay, our first actual patrol spots a badger making a den on RiverClan territory. As luck would have it, Weaselreed smells the RiverClan patrol approaching. We call out and tell them about the badger, and they're grateful and return to camp immediately to report it to their leader. Relationships have improved. Okay, our patrol hears a cat begging for their household to come back. It is leaf fall. We do have like 4 times the amount of prey needed, so we can proceed here. We find them collapsed by the side of the thunder path and ask why they were left. They think that they're sick and too much of a burden. Crema has joined the clan, and our relationship with outsiders has improved. Let's go find Crema. Ooh, that's actually really cool looking. Huh. So Crema is looking around camp with Wander. She's an adult female with gold eyes and a torty pelt. She's stoic, incredibly knowledgeable, and a great tunneler. Her backstory does align with how we found her. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh no, she's sick with red cough. And without enough medicine cats, there's basically no chance that she makes it. That actually really bites. Oh, this is what she looks like healthy. She kind of has like a weird raccoon pattern almost. I don't even know how to describe her pelt, in all honesty. It's like a light gold base with orange stripes, like deep auburn stripes. And then like black markings along her back, paws, the tip of her tail, and over her eyes. So it is a very unique pattern. And I'm just sad because we're probably not going to get to know her at all. Keep your fingers crossed for Crema. Our hunting patrol finds a rat. It's huge and quick, but Scorch Runner is quicker, bringing it down just before it scurries out of reach. Everyone gathers around them in congratulations of the kill. A large amount of prey is brought back. Oh my gosh, this could be an actual life send. Willowtail finds a loner who offers healing skills in exchange for shelter. The new medicine cat is welcomed into the clan. Hiccup has joined the clan, which is, I suppose, fitting enough because there's a new How to Train Your Dragon movie coming out if you guys haven't seen. It is literally just a remake, but quote-unquote live action. Okay, so here's Hiccup looking around camp with wonder. He is righteous with steady paws and a good speaker. Not bad traits for a medicine cat. He's a young adult at 29 moons with a single color kind of terracotta pelt and green-yellow eyes. Is that going to be enough? 59 members of the clan, that might actually be enough. He's actually got a lot of experience for a cat as young as he is. He used to live in a barn, mostly stayed away from two legs, and he decided clan life could be an interesting change of pace. He is very welcome here. That's cute. Hiccup heart. Okay, and I think that's everything there. Oh, actually we can send him out to gather some herbs. May as well try. They don't find Catmint, but that's not surprising seeing as he got sent out onto a territory he doesn't know by himself. But with that, I have a little bit more hope going into Leaf Bear here. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into our next moon, Moon 115. Okay. I saw a major spoiler here. I'm not okay. There's no words. Okay, let's just do it. Well, we're gonna work our way from the bottom to the top this go. Gonna leave you guys in suspense for a second here. So with the additional focus of the clan, 9 herbs were gathered. Fishpaw was seen racing along the border with his rival from Clay Clan. Other clans, it's the same sort of thing. Fishpaw was seen racing along the border with his rival from Clay Clan. Okay, because there could be something under health, let's go ahead and climb up to Burst and Des. Willowtail was murdered by Snowleaf in cold blood. Snowleaf made the death look accidental. So Snowleaf, the cat that we once were considering as a mate, killed our kit in cold blood for discernibly no reason, making the death look accidental. So Snowleaf is going to the Dark Forest. I just, like, of all the kits, it had to be the one named after Willow. I'm starting to think that Willow is a cursed name, and I should never give it to a cat because they end up dying in tragic ways. Obviously, we're mourning this death. But I just really want to know what happened that made Snowleaf kill Willowtail in such a manner when we were so close to both cats, by all accounts, at one point. Like, did Snowleaf get jealous of somebody and decide to get rid of Willowtail? Did Willowtail do something in the, 2 moons she had as a warrior? I don't know. But I'm mad and sad. Rumors reach our clan that kitty pet Cleffa has died recently. As we lay next to Willowtail's body, numb to the world around us, things are never going to be the same now. Could never be the same. We don't understand how life is supposed to just go on without Willowtail. We refuse to accept it. Ravensong will always feel their grief, but time has softened it, at least a little. Lyre Rush has gotten White Cough. Spruceleaf has finally gotten rid of all their fleas. Echo Dapple is climbing a tree and got a splinter from a branch. Jumbo Paw has gotten a running nose, and Tri-Paw has gotten rid of all of their fleas. Generally on the up and up there, I suppose. The only thing that kind of concerns me is that Lyre Rush is sick, but we still have every chance to recover from this, especially with the addition of Hiccup Heart now. Since Frost Whisper is grieving, we're gonna maybe skip over some of the interactions and obviously some of the patrols. But we are mostly gonna be talking to family this go around anyway, so I think that makes sense there. Yarosar is thinking about forming an alliance. Needledew was gathering a few seeds in a pile to the territory to attract prey. Blue Shade is checking up on the warriors. Storm Sky got startled by a squirrel. And Hiccup Heart was startled awake by a vivid dream. Amber Stripe is giving some advice to Jumbo Paw, so maybe she'll be the one to take Jumbo Paw out while we can't. We saw a kitty pet sitting calmly next to a dog. Lyre Rush is bargaining with StarClan, begging them to send Willowtail back. Oh hey. Oh yeah, everything's fine, why do you ask? I don't know, maybe because one of our kids got murdered? You can tell something's wrong? I don't know, I've just been thinking lately. For so much of my life, I felt like I've always been alone. Now you're here, and I've just always been wondering what you see in me. You're just so wonderful and talented, and I'm, well, me. I just sometimes wonder what I did to deserve you. We assure Lyre Rush we absolutely cherish them, and no one could take their place in our life. Thanks, you always know what to say to make me feel better. Okay, so I marked Snowleaf here as we'll be going to the Dark Forest for killing Willowtail Moon 115. He is currently eavesdropping on Pigeon Flick, so I would guess that would be like as a way to kind of gauge if he got away with it or not. I'm a little torn on what to do with him because he explicitly said that he made it look like an accident. And unless like somebody else found that out, I don't think the clan would know this just yet. I think we're gonna have a dramatic reveal if we ever even do get a dramatic reveal. You know, like some moons down the road here. I just want to say, like, I don't know if Snowleaf would still be in contact with his brother Cold Shriek or not. I don't know if Cold Shriek would have influenced this or not. I don't know if I can even see relationships with Willowtail now. Should be able to. There's so many cats. Okay, so Snowleaf had a strong dislike for Willowtail, but it wasn't even into hatred. He has a similar dislike of Echo Dapple, actually. Does he feel the same way about, like, Moral Swirl or anything? No, he respects Moral Swirl, if anything. Spurn Path or Swan Third on here? I don't think so. Like, is he just... Yeah, he doesn't like oppose Burn Path or anything. But he does dislike Jumblepaw and his shill is the Jumblepaw. So, like, I don't want to make this all about Frost Whisper, but I could see this being like Snowleaf is seeing Frost Whisper kind of moving on from his interest in Snowleaf and is now trying to take it out on some of the cats that Frost Whisper was most doting on. Since we didn't adopt Burn Path and Swanthra and Moral Swirl till a little bit later, maybe they're not quote-unquote as big of a threat. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that would be under the influence of Cold Shriek. I don't know if they're just have been colluding all along and Snowleaf actually was evil all along. Let me know your guys' thoughts and theories, because I won't lie, like, if something were to happen, I had expected it to happen a long time ago with Snowleaf, and so this kind of hit me out of left field. And frankly, because it's Willowtail, I'm still reeling. But we're gonna wait and see if there's a big dramatic reveal. And then I don't even know what's gonna happen to Snowleaf, frankly, because Yarostar is his mate and they love each other very much. So that fallout is gonna frankly be bad. Very bad. Crema feels at home in the darkness. I know that's probably from the Great Tunneler trait, but that just feels so Star Wars-y to me. Queso Storm is giving us some advice, so I guess we can hear what he's got to say. He trudges across camp with ears pinned back, squinting as if he was just buffeted by a particularly strong wind. Hill Petal just told me all about the secret bald spot at the base of their tail for nearly 10 minutes. Lovely. Burn Path wants to compliment Echo Dapple's fighting techniques. Swanthra wants to critique Runt Tail's fighting techniques. Echo Dapple wants to get to know Ravensong better. And Moral Swirl is playing a prank on Queso Storm. So nobody is mourning their sister, I guess. They just must not have really liked Willowtail all that much or something. I don't even see Willowtail like on their lists of interests, so that really burns. Echo Dapple has a little bit more love for her sister, but comparatively speaking, Fishpaw is playing a prank on us. Oh, don't worry about your chores unless you want to worry about them. What I'm trying to say is, if you need a break, let me know. I'm more than willing to do anything to make sure you rest, okay? Oh, that's very sweet, Fishpaw. I get the sense that he's very awkwardly just trying to make things better for us in his own way, and he's like, oh, I know what cheers me up. It's pranks and jokes. Let's do pranks and jokes and see if that makes him feel better. Jumblepaw had a very strange dream. Hey, why do you look so upset? Okay, fine. I did go out onto the territory without you this morning. But I had a good reason, I promise. What was the reason? Can I get back to you on that one? Heh. Moonfern is sad they couldn't spend more time with Quail Hail, so I guess she's just, reminiscing on some of the other tragedies of Frost Whisper's life right now. Jar Rumble is seeking guidance from StarClan for the young ones. Look at all of the cats we have in the clan now. I don't even feel like this is really true to all of them, frankly. Medicine Cat Den looks a little bit too empty, but we definitely have a lot of cats. Obviously, we can't do any patrols, so we're just gonna dive in with everybody else's. Ooh, like this art too. As the oaks are washed with brilliant color, Blueshade heads out on a patrol to gather their last leaves. Picking only the green leaves proves challenging, but not impossible. With careful effort, Blueshade still manages to bring a decent number home. Oak leaves were gathered. Storm Sky has a nice patrol gathering marigold. And Hiccup Park gathers some moss. Okay, true to form, I think we will have Amber Stripe take Jumblepaw out training. And I guess we're gonna go look at the porcupine in the glade. And the porcupine is still happy in the glade. Porcupine again. But this time they actually squabble a bit. Porcupine again. But this time it looks a little bit different. Okay, finally something different than Porcupine. Shaded Antler notices some of the other cats in the training ring are starting without warming up properly. Whoa, 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 everyone stop, let's go back to basics. Shaded Antler, athletic and not a mouse brain about it, redirects the training session to a demonstration of stretching. How to target one muscle group over another, what's a good pain that indicates you're increasing your flexibility, and what's a bad pain that signals stop now. When I was young, I too did not understand the benefits of stretching. Now that I'm older, I absolutely do. Stretch. Even if you think you don't need it, your body will thank you later. Yarosar has a one-on-one with Slumberpaw, and Slumberpaw sods out a confession. She's never going to be ready to be a warrior. Yarosar tries to think of something to say or do, but they fumble as Slumberpaw becomes more and more inconsolable. Finally, Yarosar gives up, leaving them alone with their thoughts. Not really becoming a leader, let's be honest, but sometimes there is no good or right thing to say to somebody either. I'm a little concerned about this, but we do have a bold cat on the squad, so I don't know if we can't not proceed here. We hear an odd sound coming from a nearby bush. Turns out to be a rabbit, and Echo Dapple is the first to catch it. Large amount of prey is brought back. Phew. Our cats are at the border lines when we were ambushed by rogues. Taken by surprise, Falcon Scratch gets injured, and we retreat. Falcon Scratch got a mangled leg. Not great. Better than a slaughter, though. Alright, not too much else interesting happened there. We just had some other chats and storytellings. So, I think we'll go ahead and jump into our last moon directly for the episode, Moon 116, and hope nothing else tragic happens. Alright, we have a bunch of ceremonies here. Yarosar stands above the clan and proclaims that Fishpaw shall now be known as Fish Blink, honoring his faithfulness. Yarosar has been following the progress of Scratchpaw for moons, and it's finally time for her to get her warrior name. She's granted the name Scratchfoot in honor of her support. I don't know how foot is support. Well, now that I say it out loud, I guess I do. But Yarosar stands above the clan, proclaims Slumberpaw shall now be known as Slumber Shiver, honoring her decisiveness. That feels a little weird, given last moon's patrol, but okay. And sadly, Crema could not survive Redcroft. I'm not surprised, but I'm very sad, because she was such an interesting looking tortie. Sky Scratch has recovered from Whitecough, as has Lyre Rush. Phew. Hill Petal's phantom pain is gone. Flipcone's wound is healed well. Echo Dapple's small cut is no longer bothering her. Queso Storm was on a walk when he saw us being attacked by a rogue. He helped us escape, but not before gaining a few wounds. We've encountered Pipit. Pipit. Okay, so here's Pipit, who I guess is a rogue, and is wondering about the new cats. She is an agouti silver cat with silver eyes, flamboyant, and a great navigator. With the additional focus of the clan, 9 Urds were gathered, and once again, Queso Storm was on a walk when he saw us being attacked, and he helped us escape. Luckily, Queso Storm was there. I can't really imagine what Frost Whisper is going through to be in the midst of grief and then get jumped by a random rogue, so I'm sure we appreciated the help, and I think I'm glad we talked to Queso Storm now, because who knows how else that could have shaken out. Alright, and for wintertime, I do think we're going to focus on resting and recovering. You know, just try and make sure we can stay healthy and remain healthy through winter. But let's go ahead and see what everyone is up to. So here's Fish Blink, who wants to compliment Flipcone's fighting techniques. He's faithful and a fantastic tunneler. He was mentored by Shaded Antler, who influenced him to be more likely to start a fight, adapt easily, make his own rules, and bicker with others. He became better at tunneling. When he graduated, he was honored for his faithfulness, graduating at 11 moons old. Then we have Scratchfoot, who's craving the taste of Bull. She grew to be loving and a trinket stower. She was mentored by Mistspot, who influenced her to be more likely to bicker with others. Yes, a very loving personality. Think things through, bend the rules, and defend their beliefs. When she graduated, she was honored for her support at 11 moons old. Slumber Shiver is rethinking her life choices. She grew to be bold and a skilled heart reader. Why can't I just get a mediator? She was mentored by Yarosar, who influenced her to be more likely to behave erratically, follow the status quo, and avoid a fight. She became better at matchmaking. When she graduated, she was honored for her decisiveness, graduating at 11 moons old. I really want to make her a mediator, but I can't. Challenge why? Yarosar is wondering if kitty pet life is really so bad. Maybe he'll just abandon the clan when he hears what Snowleaf did. Needledew is sharpening his claws. Blue Shade is checking up on the warriors. Stormsky is interpreting an omen. And Hiccup Heart is reciting the names of herbs aloud. We're currently in the medicine den. I don't think that's necessarily surprising given the grief. Weaselreed wants to be chosen as a new deputy. I think this is the first real hint of aspiration I've seen from him in a long time. Lyarush is giving some advice to Sagbella. We'll talk to her. She paces around the camp, checking in on their clanmates with a smile. First they check on the kits, which we don't have, next the apprentices, and then the warriors. We watch as their whiskers twitch calmly as they report back to the leader with their tail held high. Lyarush is just such a, poised, responsible cat in general. Oh, I think she got a good sport trait too. I don't remember seeing that before. Burnpath is giving some advice to Sembright. Yes, Frostwhisper, I'm gonna be safe in my train, keep my claws sheathed, relax. I'm not a little kid anymore, you know? I can look out for myself. Yeah, I'd hope so. Swanthroat saw a kitty pet sitting calmly next to a dog. You know, I heard it said that I could talk the Strites off a Tabby. I think you all flatter me too much. On a good day, I could maybe talk the Spots off a Calico, and even that's being generous, hee hee. Well, that's just a cute little saying there. Echo Dapple is looking forward to the next gathering. Echo Dapple has been trying to act all big and tough ever since leaving the nursery. But we notice she sleeps near a little scrap of our fur at night, apparently so comforted by our scent. Aww, it's like a little teddy bear for her. Moral Swirl is sparring with some clanmates. Wow, ever look at yourself in the puddle, Frostwhisper? I haven't seen my reflection in a while, and I just want to say, I look good. I do want to check out their relationships and see if anybody is maybe crushing on anybody. I don't honestly know who, but I'm just curious to see if we have any young love happening in the clan here. Alright, doesn't look like there's any prospects there, but we can dream. Jumblepaw is bouncing behind his mentor as Frostwhisper teaches him about maintaining borders. That's just such a silly image with the confident step slightly traits there. With his training being where it is, he should be made a warrior next moon, so we can see that first thing next episode. Hey Frostwhisper, I'm ready for training. What are we gonna do today? Battle training, explore the territory? Ooh, am I finally gonna get to go to Two Lake Place? We're refining my hunting crouch, but we did that last time. Twigpaw is asking her mentor why snakes don't have legs. If you guys want me to go a little bit crazy for a second as a crazy aside, snakes evolved to have less front legs. So if you picture a lizard and picture this becoming a snake, the front legs actually got smaller and smaller to the point where they were vestigial because it helped them to burrow down into soil to attack their prey and burrows there. Eventually, the back legs also got a bit more in the way, so then those also started to shrink down. And I think that's why you can't really see too much remains of the vestigial front legs, but you can see a little bit more on the back legs. It's something like that. Anyone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there, but kind of makes sense that if you're trying to dig down, having really bulky legs out to either side of you isn't going to help you squeeze into that tight spot. Aw, Moonfern is officially a senior adult now. She's refining the skills and recognizing the unique needs of each kit. I don't know why this particular sprite feels so fitting for her, but it does. Charge Rumble is keeping a calm demeanor amidst nursery chaos. And she's still doing just fine there. But let's go ahead and do some quick last border patrols. Ooh, Blue Shade gathers catmint. That could come in clutch for next episode. Soren Sky was unsuccessful, but Hiccup Heart does get us some cobwebs. Since we're still not feeling well, I'll go ahead and have Amber Stripe mentor Jumblepaw for us again. And Jumblepaw starts an argument with Amber Stripe about the technique they're working on. With a deep sigh, Amber Stripe keeps her temper and instead sits down to explain their reasoning to the young cat. They can see why Jumblepaw thinks differently, but practicing this way will help Jumblepaw build muscle faster than taking the easy way out. Jumblepaw also sighs and apologizes for his outbursts. So mature. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit, I don't know, like controversial maybe, but looking at our current prey at 516 and our needed prey at 131, I'm only gonna send out border patrols this go because I really don't want to get too much more prey and then end up, having a cat lost tragically to defending the prey pile from a predator or something again. So I'm just gonna leave it. We would theoretically still have enough for all of winter time, even if we caught nothing just to get by, so I think we'll be okay. Our first patrol finds a small dog. It does get a lucky hit on Rabbitail though, but we can still drive it off successfully. Rabbitail gets a pretty minor wound in the form of a torn pelt. Oh no. The patrol hears desperate screams coming from a nearby lake. With our cats that we have out, I can't see not going to aid. I'm just scared because if you fail this, your cat gets like a broken back or worse. But I don't think our cats would sit by idly either. We race towards the sound. We're puzzled when we only see a lone two-leg. Grim realization soon dawns when we hear more screams coming from a bag the two-leg is holding. Jumping into action, we startle the two-leg into letting go of the bag. While the rest of the patrol claws the ankles of the now furious two-leg, Pigeon Flick and Shaded Antler quickly and quietly get the old shivering cat out of sight, promising her safety and welcome for as long as she'd like. Milky, or Milky, has joined the clan. I'm gonna say Milky. I don't think that would be technically correct, but I'm gonna just say Milky. Is looking around the camp with wonder. She's a female senior with pale blue eyes and a single striped light gray pelt. She's a whopping 178 moons old. She's obviously an elder, compassionate with steady paws and a good kit sitter. She's injured with a broken jaw. And this is what she'll look like healthy. Just out of curiosity, this is what she would have looked like younger. I'm not gonna lie, I also kind of just hate that interaction. Like, I get that it happens. I get there's cruel people that do bad things to cats and other animals out there. But it just feels like so cruel to think about drowning an old, sick cat with a broken jaw, and who knows how that jaw got broken in the first place, Like, someone could very well have done that to Milky to get her in that position and decided to drown her, because that's what happens if you fail that particular border mission. And like, it's pretty much always an elderly cat whenever you do encounter that, and I don't know, it just like feels really sad that like such bad things can happen to save a cat that is like so old and has probably had such a bad life up to that point. Milky used to be a kitty pet, but joined the clan after something terrible happened to her two legs. So, like, that could be any number of things that, happened there, and then someone else took over her custody and did that to her after she had a nice, long, loving life with somebody else. So, like, I don't know. I don't like that interaction just because it makes me sad. But I'm glad that we were able to save Milky. Another cat wants to join the clan. We are getting too many cats, but sure. We don't have to do much convincing. They seem happy to join with a litter of kits. Twilight joined the clan with Big Kit and Roo Kit. Okay, let's check them out. Okay, so here's Twilight. Looking around camp with wonder. They are non-binary. An adult with pale green eyes and a single color pelt. They are cowardly, a renowned hunter, and incredible runner. Doesn't exactly bode well for why they wanted to join the clan. They used to live in a barn, but mostly stay away from two legs and decided this could be an interesting change of pace. I think we'll give them the suffix Shade, so now their name will be Twilight Shade. Then here's Figkit, snuggled safe in the nursery, a young female with cobalt eyes and a single color light gray pelt. She's bullying but oddly orderly. Not exactly what I'd expect to see there. They have Rukit, a young male with pale blue eyes and a single stripe light gray pelt, who is impulsive and likes to decorate. I can only imagine like that combination though, like Rukit's decorating and then Figkit's following afterwards and cleaning up everything after him. As our next patrol is marking the lines, we are ambushed and I'm really scared because Fishblink is here too. And of course they target the youngest and the weakest, and Fishblink gets a cat bite, but luckily nothing worse. Another kitty pet wants to join the clan. I think we're gonna get to a point after this where we might just start saying no and like Spring and Leaf Fall too. But for now, Ivory Twist has joined the clan. So here's Ivory Twist looking around camp with wonder. He's an adult male with hazel eyes and a ticked light orange pelt. He's flexible and a comforting presence. He joined the clan after living life with two legs as a kitty pet. Alright. While on patrol, Scorchrunner notices some suspicious paw prints in the mud. Leads to a trespassing rogue who we quickly send off. And finally, we see a badger making den on Bliss clan territory, so we warn them and relationships improve. And that's where we'll go ahead and leave it off for today. Sorry again if this is a longer one. I think it's just gonna kind of keep trending this way for as long as we keep getting cats in. It was pretty eventful. We got like at least a whole row of new cats, really. And even then, closer to 2, actually, probably. And now we also have lost one of our kits to Snowleaf, of all cats, as a murderer. So I really need that to resolve itself some way satisfyingly. I'm still kind of torn on what Snowleaf's motives might have been. I don't want to be super, like, self-oriented and say it has to do with Frost Whisper, but it's the only common denominator I know at the same time. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts on what's going on there and how you think things are going to resolve with Snowleaf. But I do hope that you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching up to this point. Thank you especially to Parental Unit for supporting the channel, as that support is greatly appreciated. Feel free to check out links in the description below to links to other social media if you feel so inclined to checking that stuff out. I know I've been posting my journey on practicing the Wolf Quest beta over on the Discord, so if you want to see the tragedies that have ensued, you can feel free to join up there. But until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay happy. I'll see you all then, and bye!